see, am I on? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know if anybody's there. Heard Shylin's having a problem today, so they asked me to start a little earlier, and I am here. All right. Problem today? What? Hey, hold on. Shh. I had that going there. Well, anyway, hello for anybody that's watching. Um, my name is Mike Milo. I'm going to entertain you guys for the next 3 hours. Well, 3 hours and 20 minutes, actually. And I've been working on a film of mine for a while now. Uh, I'm most likely going to finish it today. Oh, man, look at that. What happened there? He's out of the thing. All right, well, I got to fix that. Uh, anyway. Anyway, hello. So, today what I was going to do, because people have asked about it in the past, was I was going to spend some time talking about, well, that's why. I'm going to spend some time talking about the principles of animation, and I'm sure I won't get through all of them, but I would at least talk about a couple of them, and certainly the first one. There we go. See, that's so much better. But what I just did there, if anybody's watching, anybody's paying attention, this character here, I set up a mask so that this character would feel like they're in this garbage can. They're not really in the garbage can, obviously, and I didn't draw it perfectly because I didn't need to, because with Animate you can actually use something called a mask. Hey, what's up, Sam? How you doing? So see what happens if I take this character. This is that piece of artwork. If I take it and I pull it out, you'll see how it pops over. If I drag it back in here, you'll see it pops inside. That's because it's a mask. Now if I unmask it and show it, you'll see that's the actual mask. That's one of the nice things about Animate, is that you can set masks so that things feel inside or outside, or if you only want one area to be seen. All of that works really well in this program. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to turn that back on again. I'm going to hide it again. See, look, because also I can see now it's just an outline because it's set up as outlines. All right, so I guess I'm going to start to animate and then see if more people show up, because if people show up, then I will do a tutorial. But I'm not positive anybody's gonna. I'm not gonna waste my time if nobody's there. I'm just gonna animate and have fun animating. And that's what I'm gonna do. So this is where I got it last week, which I think is pretty fun. I'm liking it. Let's see. Let's go with. I need to hide this stuff because I got to see the animatic behind there. You can see there's artwork behind here. See, it's moving. That's my animatic. All right, so right here, he throws the thing. All right, so I need to do an anticipation, and but everything is everything's not. All right, let's see. Let's find that layer. Let's go on that frame. Alright, so let's get rid of that artwork. Did I know you can create a shockwave art, Kyle? Use it as an After Effects. No, but that's kind of cool. I did know that, but maybe you didn't. Oh, and by the way, Animate updated to the most recent version today, so it's got some new features. Now we're on right? Now we're on 2017.5, and there's some new stuff in it, which I don't really know how to use, but it's neat. So let's see if we can find where that stuff is. Where is that? There is a new feature that lets you do something cool. Um, you're supposed to be able to do like slow in and slow out with the camera, and I have never I saw it, but it's not motion presets. No, it's not that. But it's supposed to be really cool, and what I saw was cool, but I don't know where it is. Oh well, maybe we'll find it together. Maybe if Colin shows up later, he'll remember. Hey, what's up, Terry? How you doing? I'm fine, thank you. Hey, and what's up, CBR? It's always good to see CBR in the house. Um, anyway, I am good, thank you very much. I'm just chilling, enjoying myself this morning on this fine morning. I slept like a baby. I just want you to know. I mean, aside from the pooping myself thing, but I totally slept so good. I went. My wife left me alone. I just I woke up like a half an hour ago, so that was pretty awesome, I have to say. All right, so let's see. What do we got here? I need some kind of a fun expression here. I'm going to go to my trusty frame picker. Yes, thank you, CBR. I appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Calvert? How you doing, man? Thanks for visiting. Or man, lady, I can't tell from Calvert. But Fallout, yeah, baby. Huh? Fallout. I know. Fallout's my favorite. Hey, did you guys see that they're gonna do a Fallout VR thing? I don't know whether or not I'm gonna like that. I mean, I don't have VR stuff anyway, but I mean, it's kind of cool. I think that it would be fun to be able to do that. I don't know how it works or how you're gonna run or anything like that, but man, that sounds like fun. I guess you'd need like a big area. I don't really have that big of an area back here, but I mean it's big enough, I guess, if I gotta just run in place. It'd be kind of fun. You can exercise and and shoot, death claws. I think that would be fun. I guess I'll just leave them like this. I don't really have many poses, and it doesn't really matter. All right, so now what we need. But wait, I need to find what frame this is on again. There we go, right there. All right. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're definitely gonna do VR Fallout 4. Oh man, it's gonna be pretty cool too, and it's the full world. It's everything. It looks like it's a little bowed when you see it. Like they have a whole demonstration thing because it was at E3. It was pretty cool, but I don't know whether or not I mean, one of the things that they say about VR is that you can get kind of seasick or motion sickness from it. So I mean, I don't know whether or not it'll be fun, but it sounds pretty doggone cool to me. So, but then again, I don't know. I mean, I have an Xbox, so I don't know what the Xbox where you're gonna use that. I don't know how that works or what. Is that the body? Where's the body? What's that song? Let the bodies hit the floor. Oh, there it is. All right, so it is that layer, isn't it? No, that's the arm. All right, where's that layer? Body. Is this it? This must be it. Is it? Why is it not? That's really strange. What is that? Oh, it is that. It is that. So where's the... I don't know if you can see this, but I can't delete. Alright, well, who cares? Doesn't matter. Let's do this. Let's do this. Alright, so... Oh, paint normal. I'm gonna draw this one drawing. If I can get to 50 people, I'll teach a class. in how to animate. Actually, I don't care. I'll do that anyway. Just let me finish drawing this one drawing, and I'll teach the first principle of animation. Okay? Anybody tell me what the first principle of animation is? Because there's actual principles. It's like, you know, the theory of relativity and all that stuff, only for animation. Only, only with mallets and guns. First principle of animation. Go ahead. Hey, what's up, Matt? How you doing? Good to see you. Squash and stretch. That is the first one. Yes, it is. It is the first one. Um, and I am going to show you guys the principle of squash and stretch. And actually, quite honestly, I'm displaying it at the moment. This is exactly what I'm doing because I'm going to have him. He's gonna jump here. So in order for him to jump, he needs to build up the energy to jump. You can't just jump from a straight point. You can't do that. Even if you did that and you hopped, you would still need to build up the energy to jump. So that's the first step in animation, and without it, animation dies. It doesn't look good, and it never will look good. So you need that, and so that's what I'm doing right here. I'm doing the first principle of animation. So I'm gonna let me draw this picture here. Now, what is he doing here? I think he's oh, there's his arm. He's throwing this away. So let me just finish this pose, and we'll deviate for I don't know, 20 minutes, and we'll do the first principle of animation. Now, in this case, I'm gonna have to draw him on his arm on another layer. So that's why I'm not drawing it here, because it's gonna have to go in front of this this lid here. So that's why I'm not drawing his arm quite yet. I will draw it, but it's got to be on its own layer, which is pretty typical for things in Animate. It's all about over and under, really, in this program. Alright, so now that I did my rough, I did my cleanup, now we'll go from there to there. That's a little, might be a little too thick. What did I do? Oh, I'm on one too big. Alright, so hold on, I gotta redo this. But at least now I got a nice tight drawing. Yes, squash and stretch. Numero uno, squashio stretchio. How do you say that in Spanish? How do you say squash in Spanish? Oh, it's, I don't know if it's the same thing, but I think it's Calabasas. But it probably doesn't mean the same thing, because I think Calabasas is an actual squash, like the vegetable squash. But I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, because we have a town next door to me named Calabasas. And I seem to remember reading a long time ago that Calabasas meant squash, because it's a very rich community. And today, now, it's, you know, just rich people with BMWs and Teslas and stuff. But back in the day, it was also rich, like in the 1800s, because it was a very large area for vegetables. So there was, you know, it was like where all the rich farmers lived. Anyway, not that you care, because you've never seen Calabasas, but I think that's how you say it. Do we have any Spanish-speaking people watching that could tell me? Hey, what's up, Samantha? How you doing? I'm always happy to see Samantha. Anyway, I'm curious now. How do you say squash and stretch in Spanish? Let's see. Squash in Spanish. How do you say it? Squash. It's squash. All right. How do you say stretch in Spanish? Stretch. Hey, we're all learning together. Stretch in Spanish. Tramo. So squashy tramo. That's cool. I'm speaking Spanish. All right. So, all right, let me color this in. There we go. No, oh, hold on. Hold on. There we go. Oh, I forgot the little leggy things. Got to do the leggy things. All right. First let's get his hand in there. Let's break it down. Break it down. Whoa, that's weird. There. What's happening? Nice. Hey, Bat Monkey. Bat Monkey's showing up too. Here he comes. The Batster. The Monkster. The Bat Monkster. All right. Let's see. I want to paint selection. All right. And let's draw his little tummy thing. Oops. Of course, it helps if you can actually draw a circle. That's useful. Okay. Let's see now. Where's his head? Is this his head? Yes. All right, cool. All right, now, one last thing. Oh, whoa, hey. Actually, that's fun. Wait, whoops. Hold on. Turn that off. That reminded me of, you know, like the old characters. Oh, it's camera. No, no, no. Don't want a camera. Don't. No, no. No camera. Not yet. Alright. Gotta get a little bit of arm going there. Alright. So now, we got a little chunky there. Alright. Well, how about we shrink him just a little bit? Oh, but first let's save for auto recovery. Ooh, and you know what else? We should turn on auto save too. Yeah, I usually start at 1. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I know. I'm early. Sorry. Um, I know, cause is it Shylin? Shylin or is it Shillin? How do you say that? I'm always embarrassed to say it because I don't know how to say it. Is it Shillin? Anyway, somebody tell me, how do you say that? Let's see, extensions, autosave, enable. No, not every 2 minutes. That would be way too long. Let's do every 15 minutes. And we'll save. Shillin' like chillin'. Ah, okay, shillin'. There you go. She's down there? Oh, yeah, having bad weather. Oh, yeah, I guess so, huh? Do you find yourself talking like this at work while you're by yourself? What time did I start? I started at like 12, yeah, 12:30. Um, no, I don't. I don't talk to myself at work. I mean, I actually do. I mean, I do, but you know, I'm in a room with a bunch of people, so I try and be respectful and quiet. But I do actually talk to myself sometimes. But it's usually just because my computer is pissing me off. I mean, that's honestly the reason. All right, so now he tosses this. Yep. And then how about this? Where's that? Can I grab that? Or am I grabbing it and I don't know it? I'm not grabbing it. I got too many layers going on in this scene. I mean, I really do. Just too many layers. Is this it? Nope. That's not it. Alright. Well, it's going to have to be one of these. I'm going to have to Nope, it's none of those. This is the map that I started. I hate that I can't find what I have. I mean, I really should pay attention and do that, but why isn't that working? It should let me select it. It must be locked, but I don't have anything locked now. Everything isn't locked except for those 3 up here. Alright. Well. Whoa, what is that? Huh, there's some, this update is a little messed up, I think. Although I think it might have had something to do with that camera that I did. Oh, every 30 minutes. I don't want it to do that. I want it every... That's weird. It won't let me. It's off. Alright. Well, gee whiz. It looks like everything... It looks like it is selected. It is selected, but it won't let me... you can't see the selection. Oh, well. Maybe you can, and I'm not noticing it. Ah, there we go. Well, that was weird. It might have had something to do with that. Alright. Sorry. Alright, so this... That's the arm. So where did it go away? Oh, because I deleted it. You dumb bunny. Alright. Then, here we go. Now we're inside it. Let's find this. And what's this? This and this. This and that. That's all I need. Alright, give me that. Now let's go back to the frame that I need. And we'll put it right here. Whoa! Dang it! Alright, you know what? Here, how about this? I know what we'll do. Watch this. I don't even care. That's how I'm gonna roll. Let's clear the keyframe. Let's take this. Let's grab it. Then I can do whatever I want with it. Let's break it. No, we can't do that. Dang it. Alright, no, but... Wait, I know what I'll do. I'll duplicate it. Sprayer copy. Now I can just delete stuff and it won't matter. Where's the hands? Let's delete the hands. Let's delete these hands. There, now I got my sprayer. Whew, wow, that was complicated, wasn't it? Alright, so now let's delete this as well. Oh, whoa, 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 hey, 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 whoa, whoa. Alright, there we go. Alright, now, whoa, where did it go? Oh, how you irk me. Well, where is that? What? It just disappeared. There it is right there. Oh, is it because it's not on frame 1? That's why. Look at that, huh? Alright, let's see. What are you guys talking about? Let's see. Wait, hold on. I have to go back. She'll just forget. Oh. She's Canadian. Oh, okay. 20 minutes ago. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Without power. Wow. I guess that's a big deal. I hope I don't lose power. It's really hot here today. It's going to be like 105. So I don't think we're going to lose power unless things melt. So are you still offering the if you are here when you finish? Yes, I am. If you are here today and I finish this film today, I'll put your name in the credits. Oh, is it? No, it's probably... Hold on. I don't know why. I don't know why it's doing that. Hey, what's up, Art Yubby? Yeah, see, all right, good. Quiet on my right headphones. You know what, guys, I'm running a jalopy over here. This is as good as it gets for the moment. I need to get a new computer, and I'm just too irritated with Apple to actually do that because they suck. All right, they don't suck, but they really tick me off. All right, so there we go. All right. Anyway, yes, I as Bat Monkey said, if you are here when I finish, I will put your name in the credits. Um, just a little perk, hopefully, if you like that kind of thing. Um, and the way that I'll need you to do that is to email me with your real name. I mean, unless you want me to name you Bat Monkey, but I imagine you probably don't. But I mean, I know Bat Monkey's real name, but I don't know all of your real names, so you'll have to email me your name, and not yet, cause I gotta finish first. But but yeah, I mean, if you're here, you guys have been here the entire time with me. A lot of you have, and you've watched this thing since January. Really. I mean, it's really been a while since I've been doing this, so I figure the least that I can do is give back to you all for watching me all this time steadily and putting up with my shenanigans. So, yeah, definitely, I will definitely do that. Now, that doesn't mean you have to. If you don't want to, then, just don't email me at the end of this. Paint behind, because I got to patch that. Now we'll do this. Uh, that's odd. That was weird. I think it's because it wasn't on that actual frame. All right. Hey, Colin, where's if you're still listening, where is that new feature in 5.5? Isn't there that new feature? The the layer thing? I don't want to give it away if it's not out yet, but yeah, I thought there was a layer thing, but I don't remember where it is, and now I'm wondering if maybe it wasn't released. I'm pretty sure I didn't give it away just by saying the layer thing. All right, let's grab this and we'll drag it down like that. Grab this one. Wait, hold on. Hold on. And there we go. All right, so I'm gonna. The first principle of animation is squash and stretch. So I figure, seeing that you guys asked me to do some tutorials, I will do exactly that. Let me just finish this drawing here so that I can. Alright, let's see. How's that look? It's a little too jumpy. I think it needs to go faster. Let's go faster. Alright. And yeah, that works much better. Alright, cool. Alright, so alright, let's do. Actually, I'm going to save this as 25. And then, whoa, 25 already exists? Uh-oh. I'm working on the wrong file. That ain't good. All right, well, let's do 26, and then let's see what 25 has to offer. It's nothing. I probably saved it for 25 today. All right, retweet. Let your friends vote. No, Mike is talking about principal and putting those in a. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, and I'm having some weird issues myself. The computer gods are irritated. All right. It's stereo on headphones, but not on speakers. Seems to be slightly off. Hard to notice. Mike, do you have a stereo mic you could just rotate? No, all I got is this, man. This is the only thing I got. Is my my camera. That's what's running this. And then other than that, I got nothing else. But you know what? I have issues with this stuff. I have a maybe that'll change it. I don't know. I got both of them coming through, guys. I don't know. I'm there's always something wrong with my stream, honestly. Sound is fine. All right. Well, it's really good audio for a camera. Yeah, this is actually the best camera I looked it up. It's like the best camera. I don't know what it is. It's a Logitech. I don't know. I'll tell you what it is, but it's an expensive one. It is a Logitech C922. Yeah, and it's a Pro Stream webcam. I was actually just looking up. I was gonna see if I could, do like one of those green screen things behind me, and then then you wouldn't have to see anything but my head, and then there would be more room for the stuff. But yeah, it was a pain in the butt, and I but I don't think anybody really cares. And it was expensive. It was a whole bunch of expensive stuff. Anyway, all right, so let's do the first principle, shall we? All right, so the first principle is squash and stretch. Now, here's the things to remember. If you've got a character standing there, and we'll use my my character Carbonate to illustrate this fact. So, I have to draw in order to do this, otherwise I could show you quickly, but actually I probably could do it without that. Here, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. The first principle. Squash and stretch. Okay? So now, when you think about squash and stretch, you have to have, in order to have a reaction, you have to have action, right? Or maybe the other way around. But you need to have, you can't just move from, what the hell? Oh, there you go. You need, let's try a nice orange thing. So, we got this box here, right? Now, if I want this box to jump, let's say I want it to jump, the next position would be this, wouldn't it? The next position would be him up in the air, right? So, wait, it would be this. Right? So now what we've got is position A, position B. Well, you can't do that. That's boring, and it doesn't work. I mean, no one would believe that he actually jumped. So what you need is an anticipation to make that work. The way that you do that is to squash the character. So, if we're assuming that this is a character, And you know what? Let's give him eyes just so that he looks like a character. Because I'm all about the character. So I'm gonna take the time to draw eyes on him. Wait, but I actually, if you draw eyes, this looks much better. That's weird. Oh, I know why. All right, there we go. So now here's our guy. His name is Boudreaux. That's his name. Boudreaux the Box. Dumb, I know. All right, but it worked. This just works better if I show a character. All right, so, and I'm gonna put him in his own symbol because that makes it easier for me. Let's even name him Boudreaux. Now, the way that I got that symbol thing is I selected the artwork and I hit F8, and then that gives me the symbol. So now I'm gonna use my selection, my free transform tool. I'm gonna grab him from the bottom, and I'm gonna move the pivot that's in there, and I am going to. So like I said before, pose 1 is this, pose 2 is this. That doesn't work, does it? But if I grab this and add an anticipation, and squash him down, now it's starting to work a little bit better, see? So now watch this. If I actually grab him and stretch him, whoops, not delete him, that would be bad. Let's grab this frame instead. And I'll turn on my, there, so now watch. See, now it's starting to feel like he's jumping. So now, obviously, you can't just jump from this to this either. So let's go back and we'll in between this ever so slightly. See, now it's starting to feel like he's actually alive. So now, watch what happens if I actually squash him down a little bit more. Usually it's like the rule of 3s for me. I will usually do 3 drawings. In this case, it's not really a drawing, but watch how now it feels like he's jumping just a little bit. See? Doesn't that feel a little more natural now? That is the process of squash. This is the process of stretch, where he stretches before he does it, see? And the reason is that he needs to build up energy in order to make that jump. And then it's so much energy that he actually drags a little bit, which makes it feel like reality. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him, let's move this up just a little bit more. So now I'm going to have him do what's called a little inertia. And I'll have him come up just a little bit more, maybe a little bit more. And then now I'm going to have him start to come back down again, but I'm going to stretch him. And I'm going to stretch him and squash him both ways. So now watch what happens. See? So now he feels like he's starting to drop down again. Because now he's built up and then the energy is spent, and then now he's going down. Name him Kaha? Kaja? Kaja? Alright. Oh, hey, what's up, Shrapnel? Yeah, Shrapnel Yeti, I love that name. That's a great name. Turning the camera helped. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that may have something to do with it. It may be directional. So maybe we'll just turn it a little bit more towards me. Cut my big, stupid bullet head off. How about that? Okay, good. Well, maybe that helped. All right, so now we're going to have him squashed down. And basically, I'm going to have him just land where he was. Although I guess not. Did I have him? How did I do that? Oh, I made him go down too far. That's all. So there. All right. So now let's see what this looks like. There's too many drawings there. Sometimes, see, what I've done here is there is a drawing every second frame. This is what's called on twos, but it doesn't have to be on twos. So I might want to drag these a little closer and make this one frame on ones, and it'll feel a little bit better. And then I probably actually don't need this drawing. So, and let's see. So now I want, actually now I could probably keep it on twos, but now because he's landing, see, now that looks good. This part looks good, but that looks weird. And the reason it looks weird is because now he needs to squash down to settle. So let's squash him down just a little bit. We probably don't need to squash him down as much as we did. But let's bring him back up. Oh, and you know what? It's really important. Volume is really important. So I'm going to actually go back and grab that rest drawing there. See, now that feels more natural. Now, that's the squash, but it will feel even more natural if I add in a little bit of stretch. Just one drawing of stretch. So now let's see what this looks like. See? Doesn't that feel better? All right, let's loop playback. Let's get rid of these extra frames so we can kind of watch it as a cycle. Boom. Boom. That works. Now, there's some things that I can see that maybe, like this squash here might actually work better if it's on ones. So let's go do that. Let's see. Yep, see how that has more life to it? That makes a difference. There's a really good demonstration of ones versus twos. Alright, and then probably this can all be on ones too. We could probably add this on ones. And probably even this. In fact, probably the entire thing could be on ones, to be honest. But yeah, look at that. Doesn't that feel nice? It feels nice and bouncy. Now the only thing that I did was make him. I added the squash and stretch. That is the first principle of animation, and you need it in order for your animation to look even remotely realistic. See, I'm changing this all to ones. Now everything is on ones. Let's see what it looks like when it's on ones. First of all, it's going to be much faster. I'm not sure I like that as much. Parts of it I like. Yeah, see, I like that. That feels nice. I think that maybe some of this oh, whoops. He disappears. And poof. Meh. Yeah, this one definitely needs to be ones. How about that? Yeah, that feels good. Oops. probably actually squash him down one more frame. Let's see. Yeah, see, that feels a little bit better. So, shouldn't your character be drawn a 3/4 position? Ha 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 ha. Well, yes, I suppose he should. But if I was going to draw him in a 3/4 position, then it would be, then he would have to be in perspective. So, smartass, here, how about that? Now he's 3/4. There you go. Actually, he looks like a bag. Anyway, so that's the principle of squash and stretch. And you can see that it definitely makes your character feel a little more interesting. So now, let's talk about that. All I did was animate this with one frame. That's all I did here. So, but let's save this. And I'll give you this. Give this to you guys. All right. So now let's try something else. Now, if you're going to translate this into a character, like I was planning on doing before with carbonate, and we've got a character standing here at rest. If you don't know who carbonate is, then you haven't watched me enough. But carbonate is a artificial life form made in a lab that I created. I didn't make him in the lab, I made him in my mind, but that's what he is in his world. He's made of carbon, so he can change into anything. Look in, you know, he can become anything. If that sounds interesting to you, maybe check out my YouTube page, because I've got a bunch of films that I made on this stream. Alright, so now, if we're going to translate this into a character, you have to think about some different things. You still need the squash and stretch, but if he's going to jump, he needs to obviously squash down. So the way that you would squash him down, and remember, solidity is very important. So the size is important. Spatial solidity. So you can't make his head like this. You have to be careful to make his head the right size. So, because you want him to move in volume. So anyway, here's my circle. He's going to squash down. I'm going to draw his body here. And I have to keep his feet planted. Right? That's important. So I'm going to squash him down. It's all still the same thing, same principles. I'm just translating it to a body now. Even his arms have to go up. His arms go up. Now I could either have him go like this, or I could have him do this, which I kind of prefer because it's a better pose. But that hand is not a better pose. That hand is a crappy pose. Alright, so now the other thing that I'm going to do, I'm even going to squash his face. Let's see. Yes, it definitely does. That's great, Shrapnel. Thank you. And you are totally right. It does. It does slow down. But I did actually talk about that. Is there a motion tween thingy? Yes, there is. As a matter of fact, I could take this entire thing, select it, right click, create classic tween, and now it will tween. And it feels just ever so slightly more mechanical, I'd say. Especially at the beginning here when he tweens. He just starts to go down. I mean, that's cool. And it works. It doesn't feel as interesting to me. It feels smoother, but I don't think it feels as interesting. So I'm going to turn that back off again. But yes, there is a tween. And tweens are really useful sometimes. Quite often what I'll do is I'll set a tween. I'll figure out a tween. And then I'll turn off the tween and put twos. So like I'll put a frame every 2 frames. There's actually a command for that. Convert to twos right there that you can get. It's a command that you can install on this program. So anyway, what I was going to say is that I want his face to squash as well. Wait, I should probably read that. I love one thing that helps. No, I just read that. Emotion to love you back, Bat. There are 3 types of tween, including emotion tween. Yes, there are. 3? There's 2, isn't there? Wow, maybe there is 3. I used to work with Flash like 8 years. I don't remember a lot yet. Yeah, it's fairly similar. There's just more stuff added to it. Hey, what's up, Ilya Doom? How you doing? I see. Well, I never went further than Flash. Yeah, okay. Mike has not yet used tween in his demo here. It's all frame-by-frame animation. Yes, but there's the tweens. I'll show you tweens in a minute. Let's continue. So I'm going to also even squash his face. Because if you're going to try and jump really high, you're going to strain, right? So by squashing his face, it also helps the animation to feel like he's jumping. So now we've got 2 frames. And he's going to jump. So the next frame, well, obviously, is going to be the jump. So let's jump him. First things first, let's see both drawings so that I can get a sense of where he is. So he's going to jump. And we're going to stretch him out. Let me get the circumference of his head so that it's right. Right. And I'm going to stretch him just a little bit. Make his legs down. His arms down. And I'm going to raise his head up. Because usually people look where they're going. Sometimes they look down, I suppose they could. But either way, this looks more interesting than if he was just straight on like that first drawing. If I make him look up this way, I can make him look down the second time. On the way down, right? Alright, so now we've got... And it already feels springy. I didn't even have in-betweens, and it just naturally feels right. So now, as Shrapnel Yeti was saying, now I need to slow down up at the top here. And the way that I do that, I have to let him... He has to expend all of this energy that he already has. So the way you do that is to squash again. See, up at the top here, I'm sure you've seen this before in animation. And we'll have him start looking downward. Although, actually that might work just fine. Alright, so now we've got See? So now he's squashing. So we start with him sedentary. He antics down. That's the squash. He jumps into the air. That's the stretch. Then we go back to squash. And then now we need a reaction because now after he's built it all up again, now he's building up energy to fall again because gravity is pulling him back down again. So we're going to have another drawing where he does the same thing. This time, though, I'm going to move him much faster. And I'm going to put his arms way up. In fact, yeah, that'll work. And this isn't like this one really isn't a straight in between, I mean a straight stretch, but his body's stretching. See how it's stretching? So now I'm going to go back to this one because it's my final position. Just cuz. And then I've got this drawing here. Let's delete it. I've got only 2 frames there. And I'm going to make him land. So here he is. Oh, and see. Yeah, that's about right. So, yeah, that'll work. But see, his foot is actually already down. So now what I really need is to have him squash again. And probably should make this be a little further down. There. All right. So now what do we got? See, it feels like he's actually jumping now. So if we play it, now that's not in between, but it does feel like he's doing that. So now, I mean, this jump, this position from that position is a little too extreme, and his head is losing its volume a little bit. So if I make it bigger, it will feel better. All right, so let's put another in between him. Now what I'm going to do is, again, it's the reaction. Squash and stretch go together. So I'm going to stretch him a little bit as he lands. He's going to... There. All right. So now, see, now that feels a little more natural. Man, I should probably... I'm not even talking about timing it yet. But see how that the bounce back and forth makes it feel like he actually is doing that. See, what are you guys talking about? Let's see. Classic tween, motion tween. Oh, shape tween. Yeah, you're right, man. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm not even talking about that stuff yet, but yeah. I'm just doing more classic, traditional animation. Looked like he's about to fly around like a pop balloon. Yeah, well, I'm not saying the timing's perfect, but anyway, there you go. So that's the principles of squash and stretch. So now I suppose I could probably in between him a little bit, because this is probably too many frames. And you wouldn't just pop to this. He would have to animate downward. So let's add some in-betweens. So if I add an in-between directly between these two, let's see here, this arm goes here because it's halfway between this and this one, and this arm would go over to here too. And let's drag his hand just a little bit. He's kind of scary looking there. Yeah, whatever. It's an in-between. In-betweens don't have to be beautiful. They just have to work. Alright. Alright, so now let's get one more. And actually what I really want is... I want an in-between between these two here. So... Whoa. Because he's going to slow down, so the more drawings that I have at the end, the slower he will be. If you did a timing bar for it, and I had drawing 1 and drawing 2, I would put one halfway between, which I already did, and then I would do another one halfway between the in-between, and then that would slow him down. A lot of times people will even do this. Another one in between the second in between. So this would be 1A, this is 1B, this is 1C. Sometimes they even go to 1D. It depends on what you want and how heavy that character is. If it was a big fat guy or a big muscly dude, it would take him longer to build up the energy to jump in the air. So alright, so let's see. I'm gonna just in between this. Alright, so now that feels a little more natural. See, because now he's really jumping. Alright, so now this one is really probably only 1 frame or 2 frames. Yeah, no, I didn't finish. Jump. Yeah, I'm just gonna end between this, and then I'll go back to the actual thing. I don't know. I may not finish again today, though, because I'm doing this, but you guys asked for it, so you wanted it. Alright. So, I'm just trying to make everybody happy. Alright, so now I'm just gonna do one in between this and this. And anyway, what's up, Fru? Fru! Do one in between here. Let's do alright. And whoops. There. Alright, so now we probably want to add like one more drawing in here so that he slows down a little bit more. So I'll do an in-between. The in-between will be close to this one. And I'll continue his arms upward because his arms still haven't finished the energy that they were given when he jumped. So now they gotta rise up because now they're gonna be sliding down. He'll even make his head go up a little bit. And I can even stretch him a little further. See how his legs are like just about under his body at this point. Under his head, I mean. So there. I could probably add an in-between between these, but I'm not positive that'll look good. So let's try it. Maybe it's one frame. How about that? Let's try one frame in between. I think probably the answer is no, this is not going to work. But sometimes with animation you add too many drawings and then you delete the ones that don't work. So let's try it. Can't hurt. It's just extra drawing. I think that this is not going to work though. I think it's going to slow it down, but I might be wrong. Oh, see, that actually works nicely. That actually gets rid of the little taint that it had there. That worked really well, actually. All right, so now let's do one more. Let's see, one more in between. So when he's landing, we'll do one. So this is the final drawing. So let's delete this one. And we'll have him land. So he's already landed here. But we'll in between the arms so that they don't feel like they jump so much. Alright. So feet are planted. Legs are squashing. And you know what else you can also do? I could also, if I vary the legs so that one leg is kind of sitting. One is planted, the other one's about to land. That varies it and makes it a little more interesting. So now let's take a look. Yeah, see, that works nicely. Alright, so now we've got that one works. Now I need another in between this and that. So we'll do that one. And now in this case, I want the in-between to be closer to the final position there, not to this one, because he's going to slow again. So my timing is, again, like this. This being pose whatever, and this being this pose. So let's do that. So I'm going to make this drawing. See, and the way that you can actually check that is, if I go from the top of the head to the top of the head, I want the top of this head to be closer to this, so that it's closer to him. And yes, I did this, but the bottom hash mark is always the later drawing. So if you flop this is exactly what I'm trying to do. I don't really want him to be exactly halfway. I want it to be closer to this one. Or actually, in this case, it's more like that. That's what I want. Timing bars, by the way, are the classic way that all animators would communicate. So the animator would tell his in-betweener, this is how I want you to animate this, and in between it. Alright, so now let's All right, so now let's. I think I want. I actually think I want some of this. You guys aren't really talking much, so I'm not really looking up. What about timing? How do you know how many frames you need for one position? Is it a gut feeling? No, it's not a gut feeling. It has a lot to do with slow in and slow out, which is another um, principle, which I haven't really gotten to yet. But basically, when you have an animation where he's gonna go from, so all right, so look, so we start out with him just sedentary. When he goes down, he's gonna slow to a stop. So by slowing to a stop, there's more drawings here. You'll notice that I went from this drawing to this drawing, and it feels okay. That is a timing of this, where is for the first drawing, here's one, this being one, this this one being two, really. Well, actually, this is my keyframe. So if this is two, then my timing would be, I have one, two, two drawings in between it. So it would look like that. So there's more drawings. So it's like that. See, and that's the way that's how you would time it. So that's a slow out. And what that means, in case I'm not being clear, is that you have one drawing that's halfway between 1 and 2, which would be this drawing. And then you have another one that's closer. Actually, I guess it would be this one is really the halfway point, and then this one is a little closer. So really, this is 1A, 1B. So this is 1A, and wait, no, wait, hold on, I got that wrong. Sorry. This is 1B, 1A. So there you go. So that's how you would time this out, is he's slowing down. So that's kind of important to know, because think about it, when you go to jump, say you go for a jump shot or whatever, you have to antic down, you build up your energy, you collect it, which means you're going to slow down to a stop, and then you recoil and jump up. So that's what he's doing here. So it's going to slow down. So there's more drawings when you slow down. And then I just popped from that drawing to that drawing because I don't need any in-betweens between this one and this one. If I put a drawing in between this, it would slow it down and it wouldn't look right. So let's experiment with that. If I take a drawing and I put one, this is drawing 2 and 3, and I put a drawing halfway between 2 and 3. So again, this is 2. Here's 3. If I did a 2A and I did a timing of exactly that, let's do that. So I'm going to, here's the top of his head. Here's this one, so I want a drawing right there to hit this timing correctly. Right? So I'm going to put the top of his head exactly here. Okay? Well, in between it, okay. Now, if we watch this animation, you'll see it slows down his jump. It works. It's still not bad, but it slows it down to the point where it doesn't feel as natural to me. I mean, he's got a lot of energy he's building up because it's a cartoon. If you were going to have more drawings, it still actually works. But I think that it works probably better without it. It looks okay. But you see how in-betweening that slowed it down. Now, if I get rid of that again, watch what happens. If I get rid of that drawing, see how it felt? It feels a little more bouncy. Sometimes you put in-betweens in to show, because like one drawing to another, it pops too much, and so you want an in-between to make it clearer. You can see at that end there needs to be more in-betweens here, I think. Right there, yeah, see that's not enough. He just pops there, so we need another in-between between that. Anyway, does that make more sense about the timing? Is that clearer? Hey, what's up, Trippy Tube? How you doing? Hey, what's up, Jack? How you doing? Good to see you guys. Let's see. Lots of people. Wait, what are we talking about? Barbecuing? CBR, what are you talking about? Father's Day. Yeah. Yep, tomorrow. I see, thanks. It's about physics. Yes, it does. It's exactly about physics. It just takes longer to slow down to something. Which, by the way, I don't know, speaking of physics, we've been watching, I belong to the Emmy Academy because I've won an Emmy, and so I belong to the Academy for them. So I get to vote on, who gets an Emmy award every year. And so they send me a ton of stuff, which is awesome. Sometimes it's not so awesome because, I've literally got boxes of the stuff that they've sent me. And a lot of it I don't really want to watch anyway. But we've been watching this thing called Genius, which is the life of Albert Einstein, which is just genius. So directed by Ron Howard and produced by his partner Brian Glazer, and it's really insightful and really interesting. And if you're at all interested in physics, or if you're interested in him, I learned a lot about him. I did not know, that it was really insightful and pretty doggone cool. He was quite a character and quite a human being. Anyway, if you get a chance, check that out. It's called Genius. It was on the Nat Geo, or the National Geographic Channel. I definitely am. I'm definitely interested in voting for that because I thought it was really brilliant. Alright, so I'm just going to in between this till this feels normal. And it's 2 o'clock, so we're coming up on the first hour. Well, technically is a little more, but... So now you see I'm adding more drawings at the end here. First of all, to make this feel smoother, because it doesn't. But see, now it's starting to. See, that makes a difference. So one other thing that I can do here to make it feel a little more natural is to add a little stretch here. So we'll add a squash and a stretch. So now watch how this feels. See how he's like bouncing, doing. Yep, see, that works nicely. Although I have to say, I don't think I want this drawing. Yeah, that feels better. Okay. So anyway, that is the principle of squash and stretch. Both the beginning, if you're just joining us, here's the beginning of squash and stretch. And it's just taking one piece of artwork and squashing and stretching it to make it feel like it's alive, so to speak. And then here is the second part of squash and stretch. I guess I should put it over here. Maybe I'll put it down here. Ah, look at that. And that's the second one of squash and stretch. All right. So, let's see. Squash and stretch 2. Okay. Well, I'm gonna move back on to doing some other stuff. Let's see. For some reason, people at the party won't put me this what? Oh, won't let you put the stream on TV. I don't blame you at all. Observation and practice helps to make understand time. Yes. Well, actually, yeah. I mean, look, if you're just sitting around all day, like you're watching, you're waiting online at the post office or whatever. Look at how people move. Everything has slow in and slow out in it. Everything has squash and stretch. Lady goes to bend up and pick up something. She has to bend down, squash, pick it up, and then come back up again. And she stretches as she comes back up. It's always that. It's all about energy and the energy that it takes to do something. Your body can't do something instantly. It must build up energy in order to go in motion. So, all right. So there you go. So now, going back to this, that's what I'm having him do. He's doing basically the same thing. He's going to jump. So I'm having him anticipate that jump. So what I'll do first, I'll in between this because we have to in between. So next week I'll go back over the second principle of animation if you're still interested. That will be anticipation. So there you go. Hopefully somebody will be interested in that. Vote me to get an Emmy. What? You have to be on TV, dude. Did you have the operation? Oh, did you? Bat monkey, huh? You're getting your gallbladder out, huh? Yeesh. Well, but you need it, right? That's what you need. I just had I had an operation this weekend too, or on Friday. I had a vasectomy. Yeah, that was awesome. All right, not really, but I'm still a little sore. But, what are you going to do? Well, Bat Monkey, you'll do it. You can do it. I have faith in you, buddy. Alright, so I need to in between these two drawings. And I need this head as well. So the head needs to go here. That's a halfway drawing. Oh wait, nope, hold on. Did that wrong. This is the halfway drawing. There we go. Alright, so now let's in between this. Alright, so basing it on what I was teaching you guys before, first things first, let's just get rid of this. I don't need that for now. I need this here. Okay, so I'm going to do a timing of this, but I'm not going to do a dead in between the two because the motion is getting faster as we go further away. So I'm going to have him probably do something more like this. It's kind of almost halfway, but not quite. Halfway would probably be here. And maybe that is halfway. Maybe we want to... it'll probably be fine. I'm a little more forgiving on my own animation. Like, it's fine. Alright, so now this goes between here and here. I'm going to squash him down a little bit so his legs are getting right about here. Oh wait, whoops. And this foot moves. And I feel like it needs to be a little higher up. So I'm going to move him up just a little bit. And I'm going to change his legs so that they're a little longer. All right, that pretty much works. Let's clean that drawing up. Let's see. Whoa, why is my... I don't know what that is. All right. Let's see. So for animation studios, how do they make sure the style of animation is constant? Because everyone in the studio must have a different style. Are there tiers of people who refine the animation? Well, the thing is, yeah, there are different classes of animators. There is the key animator, and the key animator does most of the motion. He doesn't really worry so much about being on model. He has to a certain degree, because he's got to, you know, the proportions need to be correct and everything. But, saving, okay. But it doesn't have to be perfect. So, hey, what's up? Why Van Vankster? Why Vankster? Hey, what's up? Sorry, I don't mean to destroy your name. I didn't understand how it... I have bad eyesight. Anyway, so the in-betweeners usually will do the in-betweens like we were talking about, and then there's quite often a cleanup artist. And the cleanup artist is the one that really spends the time making everything on model. With stuff like Disney, the cleanup artists were just amazing artists. They were very good at what they did and drawing dead on model. Not everybody has to do that, but the cleanup artist does. And then, you know, I mean, depending upon who you are as the animator, you know, if you're a better and better animator, they tend to be sometimes either more forgiving because your animation is perfect, or sometimes the animator will clean up his own stuff. It depends. I tend to draw fairly cleanly, so anybody that in-betweens my stuff pretty much knows exactly where everything is going to go. I mean, this is a rough here, but this is, I most of the time, I clean up most of what I do because I prefer to know exactly where it all is. There isn't much animation done in the United States like that anymore, not like what I'm doing here. But it is still done, just not that much. All right, let's see what else. That lesson was gold. Thank you, Art Yuppie. I hope it helped. What do you think of the Animator Survival Guide? I love it. I have it. It's a great book. I also have the DVDs as well, and I confess I really haven't watched all of them, but I've watched some of them. But yeah, I mean, Richard Williams is a genius when it comes to animation. You can't really get much better than him. I mean, I get, you know, Glenn Keane is pretty amazing. Did you see that thing he did with LeBron James? He animated a piece with LeBron James a while back. They're just gonna release it like in festivals or something. He did it in conjunction with Google, I believe. LeBron James had an idea about a basketball. Small wonder, right? But and they he got Glenn Keane to animate it. I think it's premiering at Annecy, actually. Anyway, let's see what else you guys talking about. Oh, nobody's talking about nothing. All right, cool. I'm just gonna keep drawing. That's it. I'm just drawing. All right, so now let's find. They still have not fixed that. Really kind of ticks me off. All right. And alright, wait, hold on. Let's grab this color, the brown, and black, and brown. What? Oh, come on. Stupid. So tomorrow's Father's Day. We got any fathers out there? What are you guys gonna do for Father's Day? What's your family doing for you on Father's Day? Mine's not doing much. My one daughter is away at EDC, if you know what EDC is. I think it's the official term is selfish. I don't care about your dad day. But I'm not bitter. Um, but anyway, she's out in Vegas for EDC. Wait a minute, how's that possible? It's all one frame. How did that? Oh, because it's there. Okay. Alright, so now we'll do one more in between this and this. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it. Nah, I'll do one more. Oh wait, I knew that was gonna happen. That's why I wondered if I was gonna do it or not. Shoot. Where's that one then? Oh. So it goes like that? Ah. And this is why I didn't want to do it. Because I don't know where each frame goes. Eh. It's just my stupid little animation. I'm going to leave it the way it is. There. Now I'll squash him though. That I can do. But I think one thing I can do is I'll have this overshoot. Yeah, there we go. And I can squash them down. Squash his body down a little bit. Sometimes you don't really need the drawing. this stuff will work, especially with Animate, because it's got so many cool drawing tools. There. Alright, now I need the head too. Oh, what's up, Shrapnel? Let's see. What was my favorite show I worked on? Well, I do get that a lot. My favorite show. Well, my favorite show of somebody else's. I really enjoyed working on Phineas and Ferb because it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed writing, and I really enjoyed pitching because on Phineas and Ferb you had to pitch to the entire crew, which I really liked because you'd have to make up all these jokes and pitch them to everybody, and in a lot of ways it was like going to a party where you already know all of the questions people are going to ask you. It was really a lot of fun. Alright, so now that's what I would say. I also really enjoyed working on all of my own shorts that I've done over the years. So there's that too. So a lot of it really depends on specifically what you're asking. They were all fun each in their own way, you know. Alright, I think this actually works out nicely. Yeah, that actually works cool. I like it. But I think that because I added those in-betweens, this has to go 1 frame later. 2 frames later? 2 frames later. And then this one stops 1 frame earlier? What is that? Oh, that's all the... What about that? What? No, I don't want to know what that is. Thank you. This. This stops 1 frame earlier. Okay. So this... What's a father? Aw, that's sad. That's so sad, dude. Phineas and Ferb started right after I stopped watching cartoons, so I was never into it. Well, I really, I've loved everything that I've worked on, honestly. One of the other things that I really liked, I loved working on Pinky and the Brain. That was a lot of fun. Shoot. I really loved that show as well. That was a lot of fun to do. I think I liked that better because it was a different time. What the hell? When am I gonna actually get this correct? I guess because it's 2 frames. That's why. Alright. So Phineas and Ferb, Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, and I really, really, really also enjoyed Chowder. I directed a show called Chowder years ago for Cartoon Network, and I really enjoyed that as well. I also really enjoyed Randy Cunningham, 9th Grade Ninja, that I worked on for Disney. You've probably never heard of either of these, especially you because you stopped watching cartoons, but I liked them. Alright, so there we go. Wait, hold on. Next frame. I enjoyed working on Tasmania because that was my first real animation job, and I was also What the hell? I guess my timing is off here. Where is this stupid thing? You're pissing me off. Oh, yeah, duh. Because it's on ones. Idiot Stimpy. What? Okay. Now. Alright, so this is on twos. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Now we're getting somewhere. Alright. One more. And is that it? Nope. Okay. Starting to get a little irritated at this. I think I will probably delete there. Oh wait, no. There. Alright. Now let's go back. I need to move this stuff. This should be all. Mike, how was working with Spielberg? Shorter style's amazing. I love how textures don't move even though characters did. You liked that, huh? I never really liked that so much, but I know a lot of people say it. It was like one of those love or hate things. I had nothing to do with that, honestly. I just, the creator of the show did that. Just so, you know, I don't misrepresent myself in any way. Let's see, we'll do this. Oh, and somebody else. I've got an Animate CC clip. My color picker is on another mode. I'd love for it to be like the one you have now. Do you know how to switch that? Oh, yeah, you can switch that. The way yours is probably like that, or like that, or like that, or that. You can change them all. You want the one that's on H, which is, I think, Q. That's the one you want. And once you do it once, it does it forever. Yeah, I honestly don't even know what they do with that stuff. Like, I don't know who would ever pick that. Well, I mean, come on, let's think about this for a second. Why on earth would I want to choose between these two opposite colors and try and figure out color as opposed to that, which have got the entire rainbow stream there? Why? I really don't understand that. But I'm sure that there's sure that there's a reason for it, and that somebody will enlighten me and tell me, well, you see, fairly certain, but I don't get it. That's probably a carryover. You know, it's probably one of those things. It's like a carryover from when they first did it. It's the only way that they could do it, so they made them that way. You know, because they were trying to help everybody, and I don't know. That's probably why. That's what I would say. All right. Let's see, Fat. Oh, you're welcome. I just didn't see the. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of times you just don't even pay attention to that kind of stuff. Wait. Oh, English mom's watching. Hello. How you doing, mom-in-law? How are you? Welcome. Welcome to my world. uh, I know it's dumb. All right. So wait, what's this? There's one more here. All right. Hold on. You know what? I think that we could probably just safely get rid of that after this. Yeah. All right. So now we gotta put this guy down. Oh, and now, oh, you know what though? I've already drawn him like this. How about we We got the time here. How about we watch where we got? That spray is splashback, isn't it? Would it follow the hose? Yeah, you're probably right. It probably wouldn't. I don't know. I just didn't want to turn it off instantly. You're probably right. Oh, Colin, with your genius, you. You're probably right. It sure is easier, isn't it? There. All right. So, oh, you know what I'm missing also is the this. Wait. There. Oh, for Pete's sake. Isn't that always the way it is? Wait. Oh, I don't know why, but I just smelled onions. That's so weird when did you ever have that where like you just suddenly smell some smell and you're like, what is that? Where did that come from? Why is that here? Where am I? Who am I? All right. Anyhow, all right. So this needs to. Oh, see, that's why. This needs to go behind the body. Plop that up there. No, 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 no. And then it's in behind the damn leg. Okay, then how are we gonna do that? That's the whole body there, so it's all one piece. Well, you know what? We gotta run one way or another. There. Let's just do this. You'll never see it. That cat is a hoser. Ha ha ha. Mrs. Mike cooking up something lovely. No, no, we're not. That's me. I'm very well sad we're going home. We're sad that we're going home soon. Let's see. Wait, what? Well, you see, Mike. I don't know. Everybody's having like 9 conversations. I'm sorry, I don't. All right. But your mom is saying she's going home soon. Yeah, but it's cold there, right? I mean, it's cold. It's cold in wherever. I forget where Vicky's from, but I mean I know, but I don't remember at the moment. Where's she from? Maryland, right? There. Okay, so at this frame, we can get rid of this. Whew. All right. Yes. All right. So now I've already done this drawing. Oh, and what were we gonna do? I was gonna show you the film so far. Let's watch what I've done so far. It's 2:30. Let's see. So you can actually see where we've gone. What? Hold on. Why is there no sound? Why is it doing that? There's no sound. I don't understand this program sometimes. You know what? How about this? Let's open with QuickTime. That'll probably work. Or is it going to convert on me? Oh, wait, hold on. I just realized it's too big for you all to see. Alright.
Well now, what do we have here? Ragamuffin. How quaint. Good doggy, good doggy. Good. Well, we don't typically give handouts to the poor. on principle. But let me see what's in the trash. There we go. Komodo, silly dog, put that food back. You rascal, you. So you want to take the food out to the poor alley kittens? Fine, fine. I have heard it said charity is for the dogs. Oh?
You rascal, you. That's me. Samantha, that's me. I did all these voices. Gonna fix that. Still got some tweaking on this. Really bad for dogs. Yeah.
Street man, get a hold of yourself. It's a Fartmageddon! Well, that went south fast. Back to quinoa for you, doggy.
And you can see this is kind of where we are.
Wow!
And that's as far as we got. So now we get to the end here, and he throws it away, and then he's gonna jump onto the thing with him, and they both take bites, and then that's the end. So we're almost done. I don't think I'm gonna finish today, but I will. I can grab this though. Yeah, from here. Let's find this, because why should I redraw it if I don't have to? Yep, that's it, right there. Right. Let's see, let's go from here to here. Let's see, this is awesome. So much more appreciation for it since I've watched it. Yeah, huh? Yeah, you've been here for almost all of it. You really have. So thank you. Alright, so right about here, he switches. So let's find him. Let's go, we'll grab this, grab this, and it doesn't really matter where I put him. There. Oh, and the body. I missed the body. Alright, well, that's alright. You know what, though? The body that's there might actually just work. Let's see. Yeah, it does. It does. It's not perfect, but it works. Yeah, that works fine. Alright, so, but now I need to go back and find that arm. Where's the arm? And why didn't I grab the arm? It's weird. So didn't I did grab this one. Why didn't I don't know. Alright, well, here. Let's grab this. Copy frames. Oh, and where's that tail? I had a tail. Alright, so where are we talking here? Let's find these. It's gonna be complicated, this part. But we can do it together. I think I'll make it go all the way to the end there. And actually, alright, so let's see. I need his arm here. This is what I had, so let's paste those frames right here. Oh, but see, so the whole arm was there. Or the whole body is there. I guess I didn't realize that. Wait. This was the one I did. And I thought that worked. Nah, see, that works much better. Alright, so now he's going to take a bite. Man. Alright. Alright, he takes a bite there. That's going to be the chomp. So now I need a whole new drawing. Gotta make that whole thing interesting. Yep, there you go. I'm just gonna draw everything. It's just easier. All that garbage of the different layers and stuff. It's just easier. Alright, let's see. Can't wait to share. I can't wait till it's done too. You're really good at bringing characters to life, Mike. I've learned so much watching you animate. Thank you so much, man. You know, I really appreciate that. You guys probably don't know, but I really appreciate, hearing that what I'm doing is working and that you're liking what I'm doing. One thing I do need from him, I need his face, because I've been drawing him so long. I think I need his face. Yeah. All I need really is, I just need to look at what it looks like. That's about it. So he's going to chomp on this. Let's just do one frame. Alright. First things first, I really don't need this yet. What I need is to figure out what he's going to... Oh, let's wait for auto recovery. I agree, even though it's a lot of work for a short film, it's given an amazing insight. Ah, well, thanks, man. Yeah, you can see animation's... There's a lot of work to animation. It's not a simple thing. I mean, you guys don't realize this, but each episode you watch on television takes about 9 months in total to do. Now, they stagger it, so it doesn't take 9 months for each. It takes 9 months for each episode because the guy that's storyboarding it, there's one guy storyboarding one episode while another one is in post-production, and there's somebody designing it before that's all being done. So there's a lot of stages, but it's still a huge endeavor. There's a lot of people involved and a lot of stuff being done. Now, I mean, I did this all myself, but most people don't do that. I don't usually do it. The only reason I do it is because of Adobe. And I'm very thankful that Adobe is kind enough to let me sit here and animate for you guys every week. The nice thing about these poses is that I'm only gonna have to do this once, because I can reuse this for him. Because they look exactly alike, which was on purpose. Because I knew that this was gonna be a giant pain in the butt to do. My next film is probably going to be at least as complicated, if not more. But, Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? It's fun. I have a ball doing this. I look forward to it every week. You know, all day I draw somebody else's stuff, and I really like drawing what I want to draw. And I mean, for me, this is new too. I've never animated a whole film live in front of people. This is new for me. But and from what everybody is telling me, you know, they're like, you know, my coworkers and people, they're all kind of amazed that I can do this because, you know, it's not really easy to animate. It's not easy to animate. Never mind how difficult it is to animate in front of people. But I don't know. I've just gotten used to it, I guess. You guys have helped me learn how to do it. All right, so there he is. I'm not positive I love that. What about this? Yeah, I think his mouth is a little off. I think I'm gonna. All right, now that I've got this, how about this? Let's do this. Where is he? Here he is, right here. Let's put him off to the side. I don't really have a model sheet for him, so I'm trying to figure out what the model is for him. And I think that I'm off. Let's let's first turn this light blue, lock it, and then now I'll go back over it again with red, now with an idea for what he really looks like. And I think, first things first, he does not have the little butt thing, so I don't think I'm going to do that. But let's save. How big in an animation team would be on something like The Simpsons? Oh, there's 100 people. 100 at least. There's a lot of people on that show. And then they don't even animate it. It's sent overseas to be animated. I mean, I don't want to burst your bubble, but it's, you know, animation is not really done in the United States anymore. How? Oh, wait. Well, that's one of the problems. Yeah. Let's see. What I want is something like this. So maybe what I want is just this. But yeah, you know, we've got 40 people on our team at on Curious George, and everybody's working hard. It's a you know, animation's a tough thing to do. Maybe I just wanted. I think you know what? I think I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm doing what I always tell Bat Monkey not to do. Don't do straight on. That's exactly what I'm doing. All right, so let's do this. Let's literally trace this. I do want his eyes to be half open. But let's figure this out here. Right? Isn't that what I always say to you, Bat Monkey? By the way, I was thinking your character's name. You had a new character. I think you should call him Vader Tater. I don't know, I forget what I think you called him Crazy Tater. I think you should call him Vader Tater. Because that evokes instant, like an instant thing. Or maybe that's not good, but all right. So now I've got at least some kind of a pose for him. Yeah, see, that's so much better. And that looks like the character. I could actually make his eyes kind of gloss over a little bit too, but this just feels so much better. Feels like him. The other, that didn't look anything like him. All right, but the rest of the drawing I can use. Let's see. Wow, yeah, man, there's an awful lot of stuff going on there. I've had the privilege of having Mike look at my work and help me get better. Yeah, I try. I'm just you ask me a question, I try and answer it if I can. Ah, thanks, Jack. Appreciate that. Time is it? Whoa, it's 3 o'clock. We got a little more than an hour left. Is Matt Guyver up next? Is he going to be up next for us? Let's add a little bit of this. Oh, and earlier somebody said, "What am I doing for Father's Day?" I think Bat Monkey did. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to not answer you. What am I doing? Well, every Sunday we have concerts in the park. This Sunday is going to be the Beatles. It's like a not the real Beatles, obviously, considering most of them are dead. But the it's a tribute band, and the tribute band is actually pretty good. We see them every year here. They've been doing this concert in the park thing for I don't know 40 years, and so it's literally at the end of my street. So we always go. Last week was the the Spinners. I don't remember now. Anyway, it was good. It's a lot of fun. So every year we do it, and this being Father's Day, yeah, that's pretty much the extent of it. Like I said, my daughter is away. My other daughter is here, but my one daughter is away. So I don't want to. I don't want to cause them to have to do something they don't necessarily want to do. So we just sit and watch that. I want to say cartoon. We watched the band play, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, see now that feels like him. All right, good. So he's like, how, how. I know I'm laughing at my own stuff. I know, but it makes me laugh. All right. So now what I'm gonna do though, I'm gonna compartmentalize some of this stuff because one of the things I want him to do is he's gonna go, and so I'm gonna separate this upper part from the rest of it so that he can squash down his face just a little bit to get a sense of that he's really biting. Hey, what's up, Fly Phoenix? How you doing? Good to see you. Yes, he's up next. Boy, stress draws your character. Yes. Well, that's true. It's important to draw your character in 3/4. Look, I forget who it was. I think it was who was it? The shrapnel, right? Yeah, I think you were saying one of you was asking me about that animator's survival tool book thing, and one of the things is, like when you draw a character, you don't want to draw that character exactly from the center because it's a twin. You draw right down the center, it makes it flatten. If you draw that same character from a 3/4 view, it just adds a little more dimension. That's not really a great example of it, but it does make a big difference. So don't draw characters straight on. Flattens them. And the entire art community does not do it. So you want to draw like the pros, then you don't want to draw like that. Now that may be your thing, and it's like, oh well, that's just how I draw. Well, okay. But your drawings will be even stronger if you choose to draw from a 3/4 view instead. And think about it. Everything in cartoons is drawn at a 3/4 angle. Nobody draws front. Nobody does that. Well, think of any cartoon that you can think of, and everybody stands at a 3/4 view. They even stand there and look at each other like this from a 3/4 view. They do that because it's easier to draw, B, it's a little more interesting, and C, it just works. You know what? Actually, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna do what I was saying. I'm gonna just in between him biting this. It'll be better. Why not? I think what I will do though is this I'll draw just once. And I'll draw his head biting in. $252. I definitely am not gonna finish today, so if you're just waiting around to be part of the credits, you might as well go, because I definitely won't finish this week. I still gotta animate the other guy, the orange cat, doing the same thing. Well, I'm trying to figure out how to pull this off the best way. I could just draw it frame by frame. I think I'll do this. I'll draw this one frame, and I'll keep it on another layer, and then that way I don't have to redraw all this part. Somebody's cooking something upstairs. It's probably my wife. We had Chinese food last night, and I've been really attempting to eat more and more like a vegetarian. I don't necessarily love it, but it's good for me, so blah blah blah, do it. But but we had this stuff last night, We had vegetarian beef and broccoli.
Vegan.
Vegan. Isn't that what I said? Vegetarian? Alright, vegan. Look at you just showing up suddenly. Where you going? You leaving?
Get my hair done.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Bye. You try hard to draw. Yeah, well, it's a hard thing to do. You know, quite honestly, what you should probably do is if you're doing it that way, draw it from your front view and then draw the 3/4 view. If it's so hard for you, do it that way. That's perfectly fine. And yeah, pescatarian. Well, I am kind of that too. I'm I'm what they call a what do they call me? I'm a well they call me a lot of things, but I am a selectitarian. So that means that I eat meat. I just don't eat it that much. If there's a good vegetarian option and I'm able to stomach it, then I'll do it. I'm just trying to survive, guys. Alright, I think we got what we want here. Except that this doesn't barely move at all, so it's got to come further down. There we go. One of the greatest things about drawn digitally. So I start my big class on Tuesday. I'm excited about that. And a little nervous. I'm teaching a class in how to develop an animated series for television. And I mean, I know how to do it, and I can do it and whatnot, but I don't know, it's just always intimidating. You know, I get all nervous, like, you know, what if somebody stands up and says, "You don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're talking about." I don't know. I know that's dumb because they're never going to do that because they just spent $1,500 to come to the class. But I still feel a little self-conscious, you know. What do people always say? Well, and what if they find out that you're not who you say you are? And I guess I am, but I don't know. Most of the animals I eat are vegetarian. Yeah, except for plankton. That's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to take a class. Oh, thanks. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It should be good. I mean, I've been teaching a class in on how to storyboard for years now, but now I'm starting a second class, and this one's going to be interesting. I mean, I've actually taught this before, so it's not going to be that foreign to me. But there's a lot of material and not a lot of time, and I want them to be able to develop a show while we're in the classroom. And I've only got 15 hours to do it. Well, no, it's 4 classes. I've got 20 hours to do it. Normally a class is 40 hours. It's 3 hours. Wasn't that right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 24 hours they normally are. And I've got 3, 6, 9, 12. I've got 12 hours to teach all of that. So we're going to move really fast. And I really, I want to teach them, so it's hard to do. But I'll do my best. All right. Now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to in between this one and that one. So now I've got an in-between to go from, and that should probably be enough. And then I'll just have him pull away, and I think we'll be good. Let's see. Not to mention you have a few enemies. Well, that's true. That's true. Do a little everything. Yeah. Yeah, he works with the U.S. Army, so you're like a government man. I think that's cool. Well, hopefully when the apocalypse starts, they tell you where to go, dude. Now, that's like the one thing that supposedly is good about the government, right? You get they'll tell you where the bunker is. Although I don't know, probably not everybody. There's only so many. All the politicians, they get to go into bunkers. Hate politicians. Sorry if you're a politician or your dad's a politician, but I really don't like them. They're just out really for themselves. They want nothing to do with helping us. I really don't think so. I think they all start out wanting to help us, but I think that ultimately they don't care. In order to be a politician, you have to be corrupt. And I think that they just lose their soul doing what they do, to the point where they just don't care about the people that hired them. I know, we could probably get in a giant argument about that, but I'm completely disillusioned with everybody at this point. I don't want to turn this into a giant argument about politics, but oh, there it is. Okay. Trying to find the frame. All right. I think we're getting there. Oh, what? Let's see. Yeah, what did you animate? I forget.
So guys, what's up?
Oh, I remember that. That's pretty good, actually. George Carlin says it best. I can't share what he says here because it's PG channel. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Have you ever thought about putting a class on Udemy or Linda? Linda approached me years ago to teach a class in Flash, actually. And then they asked me to teach a class in Storyboard Pro, which is what I teach now. And they didn't, I did a demo for them, and they did not like that I said a lot. So they wanted me to practice saying or not saying. And then I did this little thing, which I put up online actually, about how to rig an eye in Animate or Flash at the time. And see, I just said and you know they can only be like 7 minutes long, and so I taught how to do that. And the person that was in charge was like, well, he didn't really go over like the details of like the beginning of animation and where it comes from, and I was like, in 7 minutes you're lucky I got to do the thing that I did. That's not easy to do by itself. So there, I just got the idea like they were going to be a pain in the butt to deal with, and not only that, but I had to go down to where they are for 7 days, which is down in Carpinteria, which is a really expensive area. And they wanted, I had to like forego my job for the week, and then they were going to give me a percentage of funds, like for whatever whoever watched the tutorial. And I just kind of felt like, they felt like they were doing me a favor. Yeah. So I said no. Like I said, they asked me twice, and I was like, no, I'm not interested, thanks. So they did. They did ask me, and I said no. I don't know. I mean, I might say yes now. But they went and they found somebody else who did a really nice job, actually. And I think his name is Connor or something. But anyway, he did a really great job, so, they don't really need me anymore. It was Connor Flynn, maybe? Maybe it's, I don't know. I remember hearing that they chose him. I don't remember who it was. Oh, I hate that. You don't want the camera. No, bye. No, camera bad. Anyway, the thing is that also I had never done this before, in front of a camera. Now I'd probably be a lot better at it because I've been doing this with you guys for, it's got to be 2 years now, or a year and change. Back then I had not really talked in front of a camera so much, and I really had just started teaching as well, and so I was probably a little intimidated. Plus, people tend to not like my accent. Like, I mean, it doesn't. I don't sound like I'm really intelligent, So that didn't go over well either. Whatever. If they were to approach me again, I would probably say I'm ready to do it. But they already got the people now. They don't need Mike Milo. Alright. Chomp, chomp. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Alright, now let's go back, do this color here. I really love to. I've talked to people before about this, schools and stuff, and it's just a hard concept. But I really wanted to teach a class on how to make a film, like I'm doing right now. That I think I'd love to do. Just do like a 30-second class, a 30-second film, start to finish. We make a commercial, and you just make the commercial that I'm making as you go along. So we'd all make the same thing. I think that would be useful, and it would be fun, because once you learned how to do that, then you realize, oh, this is how you do it, and then you could do your own. But I haven't been able to get anybody to be involved in that yet. Maybe one day. Oh, maybe I'll make this a little darker. I always make his eyelids darker. Huh. I could do my own? Yeah, that never works out. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. Yeah, maybe they did lose out. Do one for plural site. Plural site. I don't even know what those things are. And Adobe. Yeah, I guess they did. Con would be a bad name if you're in ours. No, I think it was Con. Yeah, I think it was Con, wasn't it? So I've been on. No, it's been like a year and a half, I think. Just do on YouTube and set up a Patreon thing. Oh, dude, I looked at the Patreon thing. That's a giant pain in the ass. I actually was looking at that because I was interested in having, I don't know, like, getting a film funded or something like that. And ah, that's that's its own job. I don't want to do that. I'm not interested. I mean, I'd love to be able to make my own cartoons all day and have someone support me and whatnot, but I'm not willing to do that kind of work. I don't want to do that kind of work. I just want to draw. So yeah, I've looked into it, but I mean it's quite daunting, to be quite honest. It's just like, and then you have to do this, and then you have to do that, and you have to pay, and so much work, so much work. I just want to draw for a living. That's all I care about. I don't care that much. I mean, I do. I do, but I don't. I don't really think that I would. I don't think I would do a good enough job. Oh wow. Well, that's different, isn't it? It's not near thick enough. Dang it. All right. Well, didn't pay attention to that one, did you there, Mike Milo, you jack in the hole? Alright, is that thick enough? No, even that's not thick enough. Wow. I think because it was so small. Are you trying to sell? Yeah. Dermot O'Connor. Thank you. That's what it was. Dermot O'Connor. Do a GoFundMe. If you get the funds, make it. What did I do on Ren and Stimpy? I didn't work on Ren and Stimpy. People ask me that too. I don't know. Does it say that somewhere? Or did you just think I said it? I never worked on Ren and Stimpy. I would have loved to have worked on it. I just, I do tend to say, you idiot. But that's just because I like it. I never worked on it. I wish I had. But honestly, I've never heard anything good about working with John Kay. I have a lot of friends that worked with him. If he liked you and he admired your talent, then he was nice to you, I guess. Yeah, no, I never did. First graphics tablet, 25-inch monitor. Thinking of buying a 2OS Pro. Um, I would argue that get as large of a tablet as you can. I don't really use those kind of tablets, but where I teach, at the class that I teach at, they do, wait, did I just do what I think I did? I did. Again, you idiot. Idiot, Mike Milo. You're an idiot. Um, anyway, I would just suggest that you get as large of a surface as you can. Maybe some other people can enlighten you a little more, because I think that you want as big of a drawing surface as possible. Wow, I'm really screwing that up. That's just not looking good at all. All right, all right. Here's what we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna leave this, and I'm gonna get rid of all this. I'm not liking. You know what? Here, hold on. Let me just do this. So much easier. One of the great things about Animate. Go backwards. Alright, now I'm gonna just. I don't want any of this. That doesn't matter to me. Because actually I can reuse that. Let's just delete this. Yeah. And we'll just reuse that other one because it just looks better. Yeah. Did you start out in cell animation? Yes, I did. You also want to use it on a laptop. On the large side, my budget kind of comes in. Well, then, you know, look, a small one will work. It's just that, you know, especially with, I mean, drawing, you like to have, it's hard to draw small. It's easier to draw larger. So that's why I say the tablet probably would go better if it was a little bit larger. But, you know, having a tablet is better than not having one. So if you all you can afford is a small one, it'll be fine. I would definitely get the Wacom though. Don't get one of those cheap imitations. I don't think. Maybe somebody else will say they love them. I know Swan Meat has said in the past. If you don't know who Swan Meat is, he's usually here. I think he's one of the mods, and I think he has one, but I don't think he's here today because I haven't seen him chime in. And I think that's why CBR is here, which is awesome because I love CBR. All right, there. So now I think I've got what I want. This I have to change and make this thicker. But all right, there we go. See, so now, oh, so much detail. It's so much. There's so much. Really. I like that though. All right, where is that? Oh, did I? Wait a minute. I didn't hide it, did I? I didn't. Could have sworn I did. All right, well. Let's see. Oh, okay, well, there you go. What kind of animated shows did I do in cell animation? Anyway, yes, I did. You asked me that before. Yes, my first show was cell animation. I did commercials, actually. I did a bunch of Honey Nut Cheerios commercials. Oh, excuse me. I did those, and they were all cell animation. So, yeah, I've done that. That's kind of where I started. What shows were cell? Everything. Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Tiny Toons, Tasmania. Let me think. Well, digital really kind of started in like 2000. Nah, later than that. Most of the shows that I've worked on have been traditional animation, honestly, except for Like the later ones, like Chowder was digital. Chowder might have been the first full digital one I worked on. Trying to think what I did before that. Before that, oh well, my short Flavio was digital. That was right around that time. It was more like, yeah, 2007 is really when I did Flavio. So I'm assuming that that was really kind of the beginning of digital for me. Although my short Swaroop was also done. It was filmed digitally. It was not animated digitally, but it was filmed digitally. Alright, so here we go. Now I need to fix this so that this fits right there. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. There he is. Same size Wacom. Oh, really? Okay, cool. Oh, see, there you go. So what do I know? I can't draw, but are those like down here and you look up there? You guys are geniuses. I can't do that, dude. I can't draw like that. I wish I could, really, because my life would be a little cheaper. But I just not capable of it. I wish I was capable of it, to be quite honest. All right. Use mouth color red. Whoa, what's going on there? Oh, it's safing. Wacom is always better. Yeah. Is it? That's pretty cool. I don't know, I just happened to work with small and 2S big screen, one advertising after some time guy. Wow, well, I can't do it. I wish I could do it. I'm just not capable of seeing that. Like, I don't know. I'm not talented enough to pull that stuff off. All right, there we go. So now he's like, ow. But obviously, this needs to go downward now. Where's the ham? Oh, it has to go below here. Yeah, there we go. Oh, but now the hand is... I really hate that. Alright, so what I need is this. Ham, lock the ham. Let's cut that out. Let's put the ham... Alright, so wait, no. Put the body behind the ham. But the hand needs to go in front of the ham. There we go. How? Oh, wait, he's got... Oh, I did it wrong. He's got yellow eyes. What was I doing? Why am I so dumb? Why would you do that? You idiot. No wonder that looked weird. Alright, now he's also got to have... I need these highlights on his eyes. Wait, oops. Might help if I pick the correct color. What? Oh. No, that's right. Alright. You know, as I talk to all of you guys, I realize that I'm extremely spoiled. You know, because I got all of the tools at my disposal. So my hat's off to you guys who don't have those things and you're still making cool stuff. I'm just lucky. And I know it. So I guess there's something there. Alright, so he's like, how? Hard. I like his face now. Huh? That's the noise too. Huh? Alright, so now, man, this last scene is going to take me forever to do. Alright, but so let's just continue with this guy. He's gonna go, gonna put his hand back here. Oh, wait, hold on. Now I need, crap. Has this been, it's been looping all this time. Alright, so I'm gonna duplicate symbol so that it doesn't do that anymore. Single frame. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create another byte that he can go from. Chomp, 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 chomp. Ooh, $800. Yeah. You could go, I mean, also look for, look online for, used stuff. I got, well, no, this I got, it was $1,000, but, I got a Cintiq companion for $600 on eBay. Still, $600 is a lot of money, so I get that. All right, I think that works. So now I'm gonna swap him to 2, and then when he pulls away, where's that head? Come on, give me that. Okay. Now I need to go back to his real head. And then I'm going to have to animate him chewing. Oh, see, he's going to... Alright, so really, we only have so much time here. Alright. Except that now his head needs to be back here. Beneath the head. That sounds to me like the guy from The Matrix. Everything he said. This needs to be back here. Let's see, now how the hell am I gonna do this? He's gonna flip. Oh, alright. Oh, alright. So he goes back like this. And he just chills out. So then we need to do this. And I don't even know about this one. Where's his hand? Where's that hand? Where's that hand? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I could probably reuse that hand. And this needs to go like this. Oh, and... man. Alright, so... So now I gotta animate him, I guess. Because he's got it now. He's gonna have to go behind all this stuff. So I'm just gonna have to get rid of everything here. Don't touch that dial. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bacon. What? Save. Oh, sorry. Oh, I've got my, I've got the auto save on, so I don't really have to do that anymore. What time is it? 3:30. Hold on, I'm gonna stand for a second and stretch. Oh man. All right. Okay. Here we go. Let's do this. I think maybe well, like a little piece of peanut butter. You miss those days, Fru? I don't. You used to have to get up to change the channel every time. Oh, it sucked. Alright. Well, I guess this head stays. Let's see, where is my... Nope, not that one. Yeah, I guess that's it. Alright. Let's do this drawing. Where's that body? This is why it's so complicated to do this, because it's so much work. Then you gotta like grab each character and well wait, this one's gotta do, it's really hard to do two characters at once. Alright. But that's what we're doing. So stop your bitching about it. And get it done. Get her done. Oh wait, whoa, no, hold on. Oh wait, how's that look? It's too thick. Ain't it? In it. Alright, well, let's do the rough. I'm gonna clean it up anyway. See, little things like that, it makes it a little more interesting, that drawing. I could have just done this, and that would have been okay. But that just gives him a little more personality. Not even really personality, that's not really the right word. It's just, it makes the drawing a little more interesting. I always do that with hands too. So I'll draw one hand, one finger, two fingers, and then I'll have that finger out. And that's just more interesting than this. See? Anyway, that's my method. Doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just the way I do it. So you know, that one I didn't even bother with. You don't have to do it for everything. It just makes it more interesting. That's how I do it. What do the rappers say? That's how we do. That's how we doing in Milo Town. Mm-hmm. I'm just reading what you guys are saying. Those are all about the tablet now. Yeah, tablets are invaluable. Just drawing digitally is invaluable. I remember drawing traditionally. It was hard. You made a mistake and you had to start all over again. Now you hit the undo button. Whenever I draw on paper, I'm so used to drawing digitally, I will look for the undo button. And I'll be mad that I don't have it. Or I just want to grab something and tweak it. I like the drawing, but I want to just make a little bit of a difference. You can grab it, rotate the head slightly. That's invaluable. I much prefer drawing digitally. I mean, like I work with a lot of people that don't like drawing digitally, that much prefer paper. But and I understand the merits of paper, and I really liked drawing on paper as well. But if I'm making money, and that's the primary reason I'm doing this, oh, dude, this is so much faster. Alright, so now let's grab this. I'm not even going to bother to deal with that yet. Let's, wait, where's his head? Let's go back to the head. Find that head. Yep, and that works great. So let's put the head in the right position. There. There we go. Alright, now I can turn it off. Let's go back to this pose. Where is that? It's right here, right? Wait, was that this? Nope, that's the head. Alright, where's that? There we go. Okay. Let's see. Look at an iPad Pro 2, yeah. I'm interested in those as well. Oh, you got one? Oh, thanks, Glyzen. Thank you. It was too big to lug around? Wow. I mean, I'm really that big? I mean, what do they weigh? Like 6 ounces? I'm kind of surprised that you thought that was too big. I mean, it is what it is, but I would think, I mean, 12. This is a 22, and it doesn't. I would get the 27 if I thought maybe I could use it. But this works, so I'm not going to spend the extra money. Huh. Mike is not the only one who have said that a bigger screen is better. Yeah, I definitely think it's better. Well, I think a lot of it depends on what you're doing. I mean, when you're using a program like Photoshop, a bigger screen is better. I mean, if you're using something like an iPad, you're not really using Photoshop anyway. But I think that when you're using something that has that much of an interface, I think that it's important to have a bigger screen. I use I use something called um, Storyboard Pro all day at work, and there's a lot of menus, and it doesn't. There's not enough room on a smaller screen. If you're not doing that and you just want to be able to draw, it doesn't really matter. But it really, you really need that extra real estate space when you're doing something like that. I think this is actually got to be a little bit bigger. Oh, come on. But every 3 minutes it's saved now. Photoshop. Sketch. Oh, right. Do you ever use Sketchbook Pro on there? I do like Sketchbook Pro. I use it on my phone. I've thought about getting a one of those iPad Pros just to play around with, but I don't know. Aha, see now? I'm glad I did that. Because that doesn't work, no, not at all. Alright. Let's redraw and then draw again. See, his legs don't work at all. Time is it? Oh man, I'm a short timer at this point. Yeah, this is a much better pose for that. All right. And actually, this works out nicely because I don't have to have his legs go underneath, so I don't need to mat him. All right. Let's see. That's about right. Save, save, save. Yeah, but you know what? Well, I got an auto save function on here, but yeah, you're totally right. You gotta save. Nothing worse. There's nothing worse. I mean, except death and stuff like that. But there's really not much worse than working on something for so long and then losing that thing. It's heartbreaking. I stopped working on this for 2 weeks because I thought I lost a scene. And I did. I actually did lose a scene. And I just couldn't bring myself to animate on it anymore. Because it was a lot of work, and I was just like, ah. And I just didn't do it. But then I remembered that I had a backup on Dropbox. And I went and looked at the previous iterations, and bam, there it was. Somehow it got deleted, and I don't really know how. I still don't really know how it got deleted, but I'm sure I deleted it somehow. Mm-mm. Mm. No, that looks like poo. The hand would be like this. Yeah, that works. Nope, that doesn't work. How about this? There. That's easier. Procreate is so good, huh? Hey, what's up, Neil? How you doing? Things are good. I'm getting there. I'm trying to finish this film, but it's, I didn't really count on this last scene being as complicated as it was. But I'm doing good. How you doing? Yep, top of the hour. Matt Guyver talking about Illustrator stuff. Pretty cool Illustrator stuff too, actually. Let's lock that. All right. Well, I feel like he got too big. And he got too small, but I think I'm gonna make him just a little bigger. No. Wait. No. What the hell? Heck. What the heck? What the heck? I think I've cursed like 6 times on this broadcast. Didn't mean to. All right. Well, let's missed a spot on the toe, did I? Oh yeah, thanks. You're awesome. All right. All right. So now paint selection. So I've got like 10 minutes left. So remember, next week I will continue doing this, but I will also teach another, the second principle of animation, which is anticipation. So if you're interested in learning more about animation, please tune in to me next week, and we'll talk more about that stuff. I'm just going to go through every principle of animation and try and explain it in a simplified manner. All right, now we got him. Where's his head? Where's the cat head? Cat head. There it is. He's like, hi. I think. Whoa. What do I do there? There. I think this is too big. Let's squash him a little bit. He's too manly. Yeah, that's better. All right. So now squash him down. Oh, and his head does need to be below, doesn't it? Actually, it doesn't. Is who I was thinking of. Susan Murtaugh. Yeah, Susan Murtaugh's great. She's a friend of mine from. She's part of the Sketchbook Pro development team that I've been part of for a long time as well. She's really talented. I'm not even sure I really need to do anything more than those two poses. Isn't that amazing? Like, that just feels like it works. Alright, well, I'm going to grab this. Let's grab this pose. Yep, I'm just going to grab this pose. I'm going to put it inside his head. And let's see, 7, paste 7. All right, there. All right, it doesn't matter where that is. Although I do think that I'm gonna flop it. No, well, maybe not. That actually looks like it's facing the other way. I think I will do this way. Yeah. All right. Let's color this in so that it's his. Oh, and I need this. 9 minutes left. You should show another run through of the tune, Mike. I loved it. Could watch it again. Alright, I got a couple of minutes left. Here, we'll watch one more version of it, and then I'll say goodbye. If you guys want to see it again. Sure. Alright, you ready? Here we go. Here's one more run of how far we've gotten. I may finish next week. I'm honestly not sure anymore when I'm going to finish. It's, especially now that I'm doing these little tutorials as well. Alright. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Well now, what do we have here? Ragamuffins. How quaint. Good doggy, good doggy. Food? Well, we don't typically give handouts to the poor, on principle. But let me see what's in the trash. Here we go. Come on, silly dog. Get that food back. You rascal, you. So you want to take the food out to the poor alley kittens? Fine, fine. I have heard it said charity is for the dogs. Oh?
Really bad for dogs. Oh, see, I gotta fix that. That face is weird. I gotta add a line there.
Good grief, man! Get a hold of yourself!
Like something like, what's that smell?
It's a fart spaghetti! Well, that went south fast. Back to quinoa for you, doggy. Wow!
And that's as far as we got. That was as far as we got last time, and now I'm working on this version here. So that'll be next week. We'll continue. So this is what we did today. Not very much, really. So now he's going to take a bite, and then I still got to fix a bunch of stuff here. It's a lot of work, man. A lot of work. Go. Thanks. You like it? Good. I'm glad. Here's the crazy. Yeah, he does have the crazy toots, if that's what you were referring to. Now, I need to get this layer here so that his head is behind this, and then let's grab the frame picker, go to the last frame, and there you go. So now he's going to antic back. Yep. 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 Alright, so now what I really need to do is pull. Oh, he needs to chew, so we might as well do that for the last little bit. Grab that. The last frame. And, man, I gotta get rid of these. Put these on another layer. And block them for now. And, I got like less than a minute left. Alright, well. Alright, guys. Well, thank you very much for spending some time with me. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. I'll be back next week. And we'll see you then. Alright? Take care. Thank you very much for the Father's Day wishes. I appreciate that. Alright, guys. See you next week. Take care.